Hello class. Today we're going to do section 6.5, 6.6, and 6.7. Okay, 6.5 is the following. 6.5 is going to be dividing polynomials. Okay, dividing polynomials. Class, let's start with the more complicated division, okay? The more complicated division is this: dividing a polynomial by a binomial. That's the complicated part of this section, okay? If you divide by a monomial, it's easy. Dividing by a binomial is harder, okay? So let me start with the harder problem. For example, let me take this problem right here. Let me take 3x squared minus 2x plus 5 divided by a binomial x plus 2. Okay? And we're going to do it with long division. Long division, guys. Okay? Should leave it like that. All right. If you guys remember this, 897 divided by 5. This is long division. Yep. That's long division. That's 897 divided by 5. If we do it like this, that's long division. Step number 1. We say how many times does 5 goes into 8. Note, we start with the first digit. And 5 does not go into 8. No, it doesn't. So therefore, the first step is an approximation. 5 goes into 8 approximately 1 time. So step number 1 is approximation. Approximation. So 5 into the first digit approximately 1 time. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is you multiply 1 times 5 is 5. So step number 2 is multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay. Step number 3, subtract. Step number 3, subtract. To subtract, here's what I do. Make the subtraction, and I subtract. I put a negative in front to subtract. Okay? Subtract 8 minus 5 is 3. Step number 4, bring down. So bring down the 9. Step number 5, approximate again. Go back to step number 1, approximate. Now we say 5 into 39. Now it's including the second digit. So 5 into 39, how many times? Approximately, okay? 7 times. So step number 2, multiply. 7 times 5, 35. Step number 3, subtract. And to subtract, I put a negative in front. Subtract. And what do we get? 4. Step number 4, bring down. Now we're into the last digit, 7. Okay? And then go back to approximate again. 5 into 47, approximately 9 times. Multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. That's step number 2. Step number 3, subtract. Put a negative in front and subtract. And what do we get? A 2. And we're going to call this the remainder. We're not going to worry about decimals. So solution to this is going to be what? 179 plus 2 over 5. That's the solution. Okay? Guess what, guys? We are going to do this one exactly this way. This is a long division. Okay? All right. So let's write it down. Note. This is my numerator. That's my denominator. My numerator, my denominator. My numerator becomes, I don't know, it's under this box right here. And that's my denominator. Okay? So let's do that. So let us take numerator, 3x squared minus 2x plus 5 divided by denominator, x plus 2. Okay? I need the room, okay, guys? Need the room. Okay? First step. If you go back, let's approximate. If you remember, I took the first digit divided by 5. That was what I did first. So here I'm going to take the first term divided by x plus 2. To approximate, take the first term. To approximate, take 3x squared divided by x plus 2. Okay? Just like I took the first 8 divided by 5, and that went into 8 approximately 1 time, I take x plus 2 divided into the first term. Doing the same thing. Now, because we want to approximate, and because this x plus 2 does not go into that, here's what we're going to do to approximate. We are going to drop the 2. So this is approximately, let's drop this 2. 3x squared divided by, drop the 2, x, and keep that. Hey, this is an approximation of this. We're just 2 units off. And this can be done. What's 3x squared divided by x? This is 3x. That's our approximation. 3x goes there. Our approximation. So we took the first step. Note, to approximate, drop the constant. Okay? And there we go. Step number 2. Let's multiply. Okay? What's 3x times x? 3x squared. What's 3x times 2? Plus 6x. Nope, I line them up. That's your step number 2. Multiply. Step number 3. Subtract. I put a negative in front, and because I'm subtracting the binomial, in parentheses. So this becomes negative, you get 0. Because a negative times a positive is negative. What's 3x squared minus 3x squared? 0. That's supposed to happen. and this becomes negative. So what's negative 2x minus 6x? Negative 8x. Bring down. Plus 5. Okay. All right. So now you're done with the first term. Now you're going to the second term. Look, this corresponds to the second term. Okay. Let's approximate again. Let's take the negative 8x divided by x plus 2. We're approximating again. Okay. Approximate again. Move back to square one. Take negative 8x divided by x plus 2. But we said to approximate, we just drop the 2. That's what we said. That's an approximation. Let us just drop this numerical part, the constant. An approximation is that x cancels, we get negative 8. Minus 8. That's our approximation. What's negative 8 times x? Negative 8x. What's negative 8 times 2? Negative 16. That's your step number 2. Step number 3 is subtract. There's the way I subtract. I'm subtracting this binomial, so you better put parentheses around the binomial and subtract. Okay. A negative times a negative is positive. What's negative 8x plus 8x? 0. That's supposed to happen. If that does not happen, you made a mistake. So a negative is a negative is positive, you get 0. A negative times a negative is positive. What's 5 plus 16? 21. The degree for this is 0. This has degree of 0. And the degree for this is 1. A 1 there. Whenever this has degree less than this, the denominator, you're done. If it's equal, you continue. Because degree of 0 and degree of 1, you're done. So this must be the remainder. So solution. Solution. 3x minus 8 plus the remainder, 21 over x plus 2. There you go. All right, let's do one from the book. Let's do one from the book. Okay. Oh, let's do this one. That's a good one. Okay. Let us do the following. Okay. Let us do this. Let us take 4x cubed plus 11x squared. 4x cubed plus 11x squared plus 2x minus 3 divided by 4x plus 3. And we're going to do long division. Okay? Okay. All right. Okay. Might as well do it. So here, let's take 4x cubed plus 11x squared plus 2x minus 3 divided by 4x plus 3. Take the first term divided by 4x plus 3. The first term, 4x cubed divided by 4x plus 3. But we said we want to approximate. Because we are approximating, we can drop the 3. That's possible. That's why we drop the 3. Because this is not, you can't divide 4x cubed by 4x plus 3. But if you drop the 3, it is possible. So therefore, the 4's cancel, we get x squared. So this is x squared. X squared times 4x is 4x cubed, right? I'm multiplying now. X squared times 3 is plus 3x squared. Multiply. And now step number 3, let's subtract. Subtract, put a negative in front, use parentheses. You multiply this negative times this positive, you get negative, and so when you add 4x cubed minus 4x cubed, you get 0, and that is supposed to happen. If that does not happen, you made a mistake. And this becomes negative. So 11x squared minus 3x squared is what? 8x squared. Okay, subtract, and I'll bring down the 2. Plus 2x. Approximate again. Remember, this represents the second term, okay? So you go term by term. So let's try this now, which is right here. Okay? Trying this term. So 8x squared divided by 4x plus 3. 8x squared divided by 4x plus 3. But since we just want to approximate, we can drop this 3. Four goes into 8 twice, and x cancels, you get 2x. So this is our approximation plus 2x. Multiply 2x times 4x is 8x squared. That's supposed to happen. 2x times 3 is plus 6x. And now step number 3, subtract. There you go. Okay. This becomes negative, and when you take 8x squared minus 8x squared, you get 0, and that is supposed to happen. This becomes negative, and when you take 2x minus 6x, what is that? Negative 4x. Bring down. Minus 3. Okay, do it again. Negative 4x divided by 4x plus 3, okay? But we're going to approximate, right? Negative 4x divided by 4x plus 3. But we said we just want to approximate because it's step number 1. And so drop the 3. And what is that? Negative 1. So this is negative 1. Multiply negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. And now we want to subtract. Okay. This negative makes this negative positive, you get 0. This negative makes this negative positive, you get 0. And so there's no remainder. 0 there. So solution is going to be what? X squared plus 2x minus 1. That's the solution. Okay? All right. Okay. trying to do another one maybe. Okay, here, I'll do this one. I'll do this one, guys. I'll do this one. X to the third minus 8 divided by x minus 3. Okay. So let's write, that's my numerator. Note, this is missing terms. This is missing x squared, the quadratic term, and the linear term is also missing x. So we're gonna write the missing terms in there. What's missing? I see it's missing an x squared and an x. So here's what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 8 divided by x minus 3. And note, this is a missing term. So that's why I write a 0 there. A missing term. Okay? Okay. Very good. Okay. Now, you'll see, right now you'll see why we need those missing terms. Okay, now let's divide. So let's take x cubed divided by x, drop the negative 3. X cubed divided by x, drop the minus 3, and you get x squared. So that's x squared. Okay, multiply. X squared times x is x cubed, and x squared times negative 3. Oh, that's why we need the missing term, just to, so that we don't make a mistake, line them up. So x squared times x is x cubed, and x squared times negative 3 is negative 3x squared. Below this one, look. And now we're going to subtract. Okay. This becomes 0 because this becomes negative, and negative x cubed plus x cubed is 0, and this becomes positive, and 3x squared plus 0x squared is 3x squared. Okay, and now we're into the second term. Look, bring down the next one. Bring down plus 0x. Okay, so that's why we write in the missing terms, just to make sure that we don't make a mistake, basically. We don't need them, but it just helps. Do it again. 3x squared divided by x minus 3. Let me see. 3x squared divided by x minus 3. But we drop the constant right there. You guys know that. And what do we get? We get, what is this? 3x. So this is plus 3x. Okay. Multiply the second. Multiply 3x times x is 3x squared, and 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. Subtract. And then this becomes negative, you get 0, and this becomes positive, and you get what? 9x. Bring down, minus 8. And then take 9x divided by x. Drop the minus 3. What's 9x divided by x? Plus 9. And what's 9 times x? 9x. That's supposed to happen. You better get that. And 9 times negative 3, negative 27. And then what? Subtract. This becomes negative, you get 0. And this becomes positive. What's 27 minus 8? 19. So therefore this equals to what? X squared plus 3x plus 9 plus 19 over x plus 3. Look at that. Okay. This is long division. You use long division when you're dividing by a binomial or more. If you are dividing by a monomial, you don't do that. Okay? Watch this. When you divide by a monomial, you don't go through long division. Let me give you an example. That's the easy part. Here, look at this. Take 22, x to the 5th, y to the 2nd, minus x to the 4th, y to the 3rd, plus 44, x to the 2nd, y divided by 11 x squared y to the 2nd. Guys, this is a monomial. A monomial, you do not use long division. This is easier. What do? This is what you do. Take the first term. When you divide by a monomial, this is what you do. You do not use long division. Take the first term, 22 x to the 5th y squared divided by this 11 x squared y squared minus x to the 4th y cubed divided by this one 11 x squared y squared plus the next one 44 x squared y divided by what? 11 x squared y squared. This is what you do when you're dividing by a monomial. You do not use long division. You do this, and now let's just simplify. Watch this. So this is the easy case. 11 into 22 twice. X to the 5th divided by x to the 2nd, x to the 3rd, the y squares cancel. Look at that. Okay, next, minus. 11 is there. So this is 1 over 11. And x squared, x to the 4th divided by x squared is x squared. Y cubed divided by y squared is y. Look at that. Plus 11 into 44 4 times. The x squares cancel, and the y divided by y squared is y in the denominator. And that's how you do division with a monomial. This is the easy case. Okay? All right. So this completes section 4.5. This completes section 4.5. 4.6. 4.6. is synthetic division. So we're done with 4.5. Okay, 4.6 synthetic division. Okay, synthetic, I'm sorry, did I say 4.6? I meant 6.6. I completed 6.5, which is divide polynomials. Now, oh, and by the way, we use long division. Now 6.6, synthetic division. In synthetic division, we are going to do the same problem. Look, see this problem? We're going to do it, but we're going to do it with synthetic division. You like it. In synthetic division, you need the coefficients. So you see this is long division, right? This is long division. Let me erase it, okay? That's our answer, okay? So let me erase this. For synthetic division, you need the coefficients of the numerator. And because it's missing terms, let me write in the missing terms, okay? So here, x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 8 divided by x minus 3. And we're going to do the same problem with synthetic division. With synthetic division, you need the coefficients. You need this 1, you need the 0, you need the 0, and you need the minus 8. You need them if you're going to use synthetic division. Okay, so let's do it. So first, take the coefficients of x cubed minus 8, and there they are. I see a 1 there. I see a 0 there. I see a 0 there. I see a negative 8 there. You need the coefficients. If it's missing terms, you better write zeros for those missing terms. Here it's missing x squared, I wrote a 0. It's also missing x, I wrote a 0 for those two. In synthetic division, just take the opposite of what this number is. Take the opposite. If this is minus 3, take 3. Okay, so we're doing this in synthetic division. This is section 6.6. First step, bring down. Next, multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. Next, add. 0 plus 3 is 3. Next, multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. Next, add 9. And then multiply. 3 times 9 is 27. And then add 19. Okay? Don't forget, this represents the numerator, and this represents the denominator, and this must be the answer. And this must be the remainder, right there. So this is the answer. So the answer is going to be 1x squared plus 3x plus 9 plus 19 over x minus 3. Same thing as this. Okay? Don't forget, this is cubic. That's x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 8. And this stands for this, x minus 3. If you take x cubed minus x, if you take x cubed divided by x, you get x squared. And that's why they start at x squared. Okay, let's do it again. Do it one more time. Synthetic division, guys, synthetic division. Okay. Watch this, synthetic division. Watch this. Okay, that's the answer, same answer, look. So we're doing section 6.6, okay? Let us take, for example, this. Let us take 5x squared plus 6x cubed plus 2 minus 4x divided by x plus, x plus 3. Okay? Before you do synthetic division, you better write this in descending order. So this goes first. 6x cubed plus 5x squared minus 4x plus 2 divided by x plus 3. I should have said x. Let me say x plus 2, okay? Because I don't want to use the same as before. So let me just erase that, make it x plus 2, x plus 2. There you go. Okay. So you better have this in descending order because the order matters when you do synthetic division. Because the first one, this stands for the greatest degree. And this is the next one. You better stick to that order when you do synthetic division. So that's why this order is no good. This order is no good. You need to bring this to the left and this to the right, this way. Okay. We're ready to do synthetic division. Erase all of this, all of it. Let's erase it. So watch this. Take the 6, take the 5, take the negative 4, and take the 2, and do synthetic division, and take the opposite of this number, okay? Opposite, minus 2. Bring down a 6, multiply a negative 12, add a negative 7, multiply a 14, add a 10, multiply a negative 20, add a negative 18. Let me check again, okay? Just check my work. First step, bring down. Multiply negative 2 times 6, negative 12. Okay. Add negative 12 plus 5, negative 7. Okay. All right. Multiply negative 2 times negative 7, 14. Add 14 minus 4 is 10. Multiply negative 2 times 10, negative 20. Add negative 18. Solution. Solution to this, guys, solution is going to be what? This starts at x cubed. So this is going to be what? 6x squared minus 7x plus 10 minus 18 over what? X plus 2. Okay, good class. All right. I think I'm gonna stop here. Okay, I'm tired. Okay. You guys have a nice day. I did section 6.6, 6.5, and 6.6. Okay. All right. In the next lecture, we'll give you 6.7 and 6.8. Thank you much. See you. See you soon. Bye.